Big news, big news, big news. We've drawn a Fiordland Wapiti ballot block for the first period. So pretty stoked on that, but what we're doing at the moment, we're just getting organised with doing some waterproofing. Got a bit of SNOSEAL, a bit of dubbing. Got both the Solomon boots here. I've got the Quest Element and the Quest 4 GTX. So got a good price on these elements. Just going to see how they go as a basic everyday shoe. Was really stoked on my GTX 4s and thought, well, why not get something else just to be a daily runner? Use them all the time. Spraying blackberries around town, just general hikes, and trying to save these Quest 4s for a bit of backpack hunting predominantly and only, so to speak. Just tossing up whether I'm going to take the Quest 4 or the Element over to New Zealand. Reason being that I'm going to be crossing a lot of creeks, so they're going to get quite a workout. I'm pretty happy with the 4s, but I think I want to try and make them last a bit back home and not just thrash them out in 10 days. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just waterproof up these. They're already waterproof being Gore-Tex, but I typically am putting in dubbing or the SNOSEAL on them just to really waterproof them. I understand they're probably going to get really wet in New Zealand. What we have also got is some sealskin socks. And they're bloody awesome, they're phenomenal, so I can't wait to use them. But anyway, I think I've made up my mind. The Quest Elements are going to come for a run to New Zealand. That's if they don't bust out in the meantime. I've still got 3 or 4 months until we set off for the first period. And while we're doing a bit of waterproofing, we're also just going to completely cover this EXO in probably dubbing or SNOSEAL. Just to keep the water completely off it, and also use a dry bag once we're in Kiwi, because I'm expecting rain end of March. Coming into April, hopefully it's pretty settled, but we will find out. Fiordland particularly is notorious for rainfall measured in metres, not just millimetres like we get around here. So that'll be interesting. Let's hope for clear weather though, and some bugling bulls or roaring red stags. So anyway, just going to get a coat on all this to keep the water out of it. Rightio, so we've got some Solomons here. I went out and purchased the GTX 4s. A lot of good reviews on those just for hiking and heavy pack hiking type stuff. They're a bit stiffer than the original Quest Elements. These Quest Elements are quite a bit cheaper, and I actually lucked out and got these off Marketplace for only $100. So I thought, why not do that for a daily shoe where I can just wear when I'm working, when I'm spraying, when I'm hunting locally, when I'm just going for a run down the creek, whatever. So that's what these ones are, just the baseline Quest Elements. And I'm tossing up on which shoe I'm going to take to New Zealand. It's still a few months out from that trip, so we'll just see how the dailies go. But I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of creek crossings and just in wet, shitty terrain, and I think I want the longevity of these good boots. I can get away with just probably taking these boots and thrashing them for 10 days as opposed to wearing the good ones out pretty quick. They do feel a little bit different on the foot, for sure. There's probably a preference towards the GTX 4 for obvious reasons, but the Element is definitely a little more flexible in the sole. Still got a lot of support, the way that the laces do up, all very similar. Love the lock-on section, and I'll run these quite loose as they're just a daily, so if not slipping them on and off, we will tighten them up a little bit so they don't slip off. What I've decided to do was get some of this SNOSEAL. Thanks, darling. And we're just going to layer it out on these elements and just see how that goes. SNOSEAL is one of the best products out there, I think, in terms of waterproofing and looking after leathers. Yeah, they're not leather boots, but SNOSEAL is a bit of an all-rounder, I've come to realise, and from all accounts online. So we're just going to rub that in. Pay attention to the seams, because that's always going to be the first area that they're going to leak. These are Gore-Tex lined, same as the Quest GTX. They are reasonably waterproof straight out of the box, but with anything, there's a difference between just splashing around on the lawn and then hiking or walking through wet grass and trying to cross creeks. So, just going to compare the difference between dubbin and SNOSEAL. The dubbin's been pretty good for sure, but it just hasn't got the same reputation as this SNOSEAL. So I'm just going to run with the glove at the moment, then I'm probably going to get the brush out and brush it in. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. It only takes a few minutes to rip this stuff on there, and like it's going to help the longevity of the boot too, you know, like the stitching, seams, just less cracks in the around this toe area and on the sides, which is pretty notorious for boots that are doing the same thing day in, day out.
Let's go hunting.